Okay, Mr. Kaine.
Thank you to the witnesses. I'm just going to pick up on Senator Murphy's questions or line of questions about the Qataris' offer of the plane, and it's not really a question for you, but it's really a message. If folks from Qatar are watching this, you've made a grievous mistake by putting this offer on the table. If the offer had been, because of delays in producing the next version of Air Force One, we have a jet that we will make available to whoever the U.S. president is until that next aircraft is complete, it would have raised a series of questions for the committee. Is this an aircraft that can be used consistent with security protocols for the president? Can it be adequately defended? Needs it be updated? How much is the update going to cost? There would have been some questions about whether this was trying to curry favor with the Trump administration, but if it had been an even-handed offer, as long as there's a delay, here is something that the U.S. can use until the next iteration of Air Force One is complete, we could have had a debate about the details. But the notion that, and oh, by the way, it's for President Trump, and when you are done in office, this is for you to take to the presidential library and use however you want. Qatar is badly damaging any reputation you have for credibility on the Hill by making that offer. Now, I read yesterday a story that said that on the Qatari side, the offer is still under consideration. I would urge you in the strongest possible terms to change the offer to make sure that it is not an offer to a particular individual like President Trump. Because by doing that, you will lead us to question your motivations for a very long time. You will damage the reputation. And let's be honest, Qatar has done a number of things that the U.S. has viewed as positive in terms of trying to help facilitate hostage release in Gaza. But Qatar has also done a number of things that cause members of this committee, based on previous statements, grave concern, including harboring Hamas leaders in Qatar. So I'm not going to try to give President Trump advice because he's not going to follow my advice. But if Qatar wants a long-term relationship with all branches of the United States government, you are about to commit a grievous error that is likely to be a permanent stain on your ethical record, and you should reconsider it. Second, Mr. Pratt, you were asked a question earlier, and maybe in a back and forth with Senator Risch, you talked about how ITAR is going to be one of your big headaches should you be confirmed. I would just encourage you, Senator Shaheen and I were just in a really, I think, instructive armed services hearing about foreign military sales and ITAR, and the witnesses were independent witnesses. They have experience at the Pentagon, but they were coming at it from the DOD side and talking about frustrations on the DOD side with the ITAR process. And I would just urge you and your team to take a look at that testimony and that hearing, because I think there's some good ideas in it that would help you solve this thing that I know is going to be a headache for you, but I appreciate your making it a priority. And then just a question really either for Mr. Pratt, or maybe I'll go to Mr. DeSambre first, which is about AUKUS. I'm a big supporter of AUKUS. I think the U.S., UK, Australia framework, Pillar 1 around sub-production, Pillar 2 open-ended, and it is something that can include other nations. If the Big Ten can have 16 teams, well, AUKUS can have more nations than the U.S., Australia, and the UK. Talk a little bit about the value that you see in AUKUS, and should you be confirmed, how you would want to make sure that we harvest the upside of that arrangement.
Senator, thank you very much for that question, and thank you for making the opportunity of your staff to meet with me. I greatly appreciated that. Obviously, this year we're celebrating the 74th anniversary of our ANZUS treaty with Australia, so it's been one of our longest allies in the region, and AUKUS really gives us an opportunity to increase the strength of that relationship and what we can do in the region. Obviously, Pillar 1 with the conventionally armed nuclear-powered submarine, but Pillar 2 with regard to defense technology and co-production, potentially co-development as well, could be very valuable. And my understanding, that the administration is committed to AUKUS, and I believe it's a very important part of our Indo-Pacific strategy in a way to, as I indicated with one of my priorities, work with our allies and partners to enhance deterrence and counter malign activities of our adversaries.
I appreciate that. Look forward to working with you on it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Hagerty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Colonel Rayburn,